Hello and welcome to the 2010 Villagers podcast, episode 20. A very special one tonight. We've got to 20 episodes. Really pleased about that. So, yeah, somehow, but people seem to be enjoying it. We've got players trying to outdo each other on who can get the most views now, which is a good one. Dougie's set the benchmark. Players need to beat that now. We're starting with tonight's guest, who we will bring on shortly, but it's a very good one. We're really looking forward to tonight. So the last few weeks we've had absolutely nothing to talk about news-wise because it's been very quiet. And we it hadn't come out this time last week when we filmed our last episode, but obviously it's come out now. What's your thoughts on the Seam thing, lads?
Where do we start? I'll go first. So I'll let you just compose yourself like you had to last Saturday.
Okay.
With all the comments you were getting from the Dollies up in Sunderland. Obviously, it's a situation that is very irritating. One that is frustrating, and one that probably could have been handled a lot better from certain individuals in the FA hierarchy. Mistakes happen. I would be honest with that. It's not our mistake, and unfortunately, it's a mistake that we are being punished for slightly. I'm glad they're replaying it rather than chucking us out, obviously. And I think by not chucking us out for it, they are admitting, oh, we've made a mistake here. But to appease people north of us who are spitting their dummies out, I still think some of them have lost their dummies over the last week. Having to replay it, and fair play, they've got what they wanted. They won't get what they want from the game, but we just have to live with it and move on.
Yeah, he's right. I mean, it's one of those situations where the blame lies with the FA and nobody else. The local FA have told us that Ewan was eligible to play. Turns out after the game he wasn't. How that can be deemed our fault, and still some CM fans try to say that it's our fault. I do not know.
And the email thing as well, the fact that it went to North Ferriby United and not North Ferriby FC.
Yep, all the emails of correspondence or rule changes went to North Ferriby United Amateurs. I'll let you two tell me who they are. And yeah, it's just a stupid situation.
I know all about Ferriby United Amateurs.
Yeah, it's just one of those situations that could have been so avoidable, and we've faced the backlash of it, which I mean we were expecting. I mean this comes looking bad on us, but we've had written confirmation from the FA and the local FA that this is absolutely no fault of ours. The club are not guilty of anything, which I think some of the I'm not going to use the word dollies that Ash used about the people from Sunderland. I don't know what I'm going to use, but not that. I don't really think they can get their head around that.
Did I say anything that was incorrect, by the way?
Well, I'm not going to argue with you, but like you said,
yours, Walker. But
when factory closes,
they're
being trouble, weren't they?
Well, like you said, Walker, and this is something that I do agree with. This having to replay the game is to appease everybody. It's the easy option that the FA have taken, as they always take. It's just frustrating from a club point of view because obviously we worked so hard in that first CM game to come from behind and win on pens. But we'll just have to go and do it all over again, and hopefully we'll do it in normal time this time.
Well, what I will say on it, a couple of things. Firstly, that's a big if it even needs to be replayed. The second thing is that technically CM can turn around and say whether it was Ferriby's fault or the FA's fault or Father Christmas's fault, a rule was broken, so therefore I can understand why it's being replayed. I also fully understand why they haven't thrown us out, because it wasn't our fault, so the only really other option they've got is to say you've got to play it again. It's a farce what's happened, really, and obviously for is it Adam Lowthorpe he's called to come out from the East Riding FA and basically say it was not, we were not at fault whatsoever. I don't really know what more evidence people needed, to be honest, but of course we still had all the we were reading all the tweets last weekend. Sometimes people just tweet for the sake of it, and I thought you had a lot to handle last week, Jack, and you did it well. So well done, because it can be easy to lose your head in them situations.
He did well after I talked to him, Sam. We bigged him up last week after his disappointing start to a Saturday, but we bigged him up and he's back here better than ever. The best social media man in non-league football. He's here. And I tell you, guys, he's got some big plans for the social media, and I can't wait for him to come through, and he'll put a shade to all these pathetic Twitter accounts that we have in our division. Because Sol is the man.
He's well, you can tell he's on one. He's on the booze. Look, what we'll say is that obviously for Seaham, I mean, it's unfortunate because they've just subjected themselves to another 2.5 hour trek down the motorway to go on with the tail between the legs again. Because I have no doubt that this will provide all the extra motivation that we need to go out and do the job properly and not give them 45 minutes head start this time like we did in the first game.
Definitely.
Anyway, that's that. We're not going to leave our guest waiting any longer. We're delighted to welcome this player on, who I'm going to admit into the meeting now.
Here he comes. Here he is.
Yes then, fellas, how are we?
How then, EC?
How you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, not bad. Plodding through lockdown.
Yeah, we all are.
Yeah, but I think it's fair to say you've had quite a lot on your plate the last week or so, especially. Obviously, we'd all like to say congratulations on the birth of your son, Bertie, last weekend. The day after your birthday, I believe. So, pretty hectic week that must have been. So, what sort of a week have you had?
Yeah, crazy to be fair. We sort of had an inkling that he was on his way. We obviously didn't know if it was a boy or a girl. Paris was in hospital on the Saturday, and baby was like measuring quite big, which was a bit scary for his mum. And then they said, if your waters don't break tonight, we'll break them for you tomorrow. So that's what happened. We went in at sort of about 3 o'clock, I think, on the Sunday, the day after. They broke the waters at 3:25, and he was here at 5:20. It was the quickest birth I've ever heard of. So the little man didn't mess around, didn't hang around. He got out of there and escaped.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Nice one. Everyone doing fine, yeah? Everything
all
really
good? Yeah. He's not sleeping too well, but always I don't think. Yes, Ash, you got a beer on the go?
I am.
Oh, give me 2 seconds, innit? Let me get rid of this water. 1 sec.
You've got it on the podcast, Steve, so you've got to go for it.
God.
Well, I'm having water. Help kick. Come on.
As if you're encouraging people to drink now, Ash. Well
It's
done.
outrageous. This is one of our star players.
It's one of the for the podcast. You've got to have a pint.
That is true. Although I've got my smart water. Here he is.
I'll have beer with the boys. If I'd knew we were drinking, I'd have cracked the little birthday present open.
But if it means anything, Easty, I'm on the water still. So
there's only him that's drinking.
We're on health kicks.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. You're doing really well. Well done.
It's going all right. Just trying to keep a bit motivated through lockdown because it's just so boring.
Something to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something to do.
Yeah. Focus. Really, really good. A stone's very good.
Yeah, I'm chuffed. Yeah, bit more to go, but yeah, good start for January. But yeah, obviously we're all delighted to hear that news, Easty, and that everything's going well. So obviously we don't need to ask what's going on in your lockdown because I think we've got a pretty good idea now.
I was at the in-laws when that happened as well, so.
God. What we're going to do, we've got a few different sort of sections of questions to go through. I'm going to, and as we said before you came on, we've had a couple of the players messaging, wanting to come on and say, oh, we want to beat Dougie's views. So we'll see if you can do that.
See, I've got I ain't took much interest into it, obviously because I've been really busy. But the boys were slating Dougie because he was asking to come on apparently, So if the rest of them are asking, then they're contradicting themselves.
Well, one more's asked us. We won't reveal who it is.
Yeah,
but, I'll tell you after.
No. You've got to fuss here because there's been loads of shit given to Dougie. So, I think he deserves a little bit of protection.
He's good. He's good.
It was a good one. I'm going to kick off with sort of the season so far. We hope it's a so far and not season finished. Just generally, how would you judge the season had gone as a whole so far? The league and obviously what we were doing in the Vars as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Vars games was something else, weren't they? A great run, and hopefully we can continue that. As for the league, obviously we had a couple of slip-ups. You'd call them slip-ups because, even the games we lost, to be fair, the Winton game, fair play to them second half. I thought that was really good and done a number on us. But the other ones, I thought, we should have won, and we shouldn't really drop points anywhere, really, other than that Winton game where, we had a few injuries first half, and we had a couple, before the game as well. So, I think other than that, I think we've played some incredible football at times, and we've played it in the right way, the way we all want to play football. The gaffer and Robbo's got us playing that way, got the players in that he wants to play that way. And, I thoroughly enjoyed it and loved it, every minute of it. You take the ups and the downs, but I think there's been a lot more ups this season than there has downs. I think it's been brilliant. And let's see what happens, but it'd be a real shame for it to be scrapped. I don't know what goes on points per game. I'm not sure if we make it or we don't make it, but it's a real shame.
If they do it based on this season, we'll go up.
Right. Okay. Well, we're biased. We think we want to go up, and other clubs may not want to go up. You've got to remember that as well. We do want to go up, and we want to push ourselves and go higher up the leagues and get this club back to where I believe it belongs.
I think for you as a player, though, you'd probably rather do it on the pitch than say they said right now it's points per game and you've got to sit and kick your heels till August and not have any more games to play.
Yeah, 100%. You want to play football, and you want to earn the right in football, whether that's one game or the full season. You've got to earn the right. How we play, we've got to earn the right to play that way. Teams, sitting against us all that come at us, and it's the same with leagues and cups and titles and everything. You've got to earn the right to get them, but at the same time, I think we've earned the right the way we've played and gone about our business. And obviously, I wasn't here last season, but I think we was there or thereabouts last season as well. It's been hard. Stop and start is really, really hard as an individual, as an athlete, as a footballer. Don't forget, we're not training. We're not like other clubs that you're allowed to train still. We're not allowed to train. So we've been doing lockdown sessions. We've been keeping ourselves fit. And then you get going again, and then you got to stop again. And it is hard. And some of the lads, like, I don't know about all lads. All lads seem really good and really motivated. But some of the lads from the other teams will surely be stopping and not doing things now. So if we do get going and they say, right, you're starting again like they did last time, there's going to be loads of injuries. There's going to be loads of people unfit. It's hard. I think a pre-season would be needed now.
I think it's tough mentally as well, isn't it? I mean, having to get yourself back into the mood after not playing for so long, to be able to get back into sort of like match fitness, get ready for the pressures that a match brings. I think, like you say, I think a pre-season would be needed now, especially if they're going to scrap the season. I mean, we talk about points per game, but we look at teams like Selby, they've only played 6 games. So would it be better for us to just scrap it all off and say, right, have your normal pre-season and start again as normal in August? What would you say?
There's points, isn't there, negatives and positives for both sides of what they're going to do. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, mentally for me, it's not, because if you say, right, you've got a game tomorrow night, I'll be like, yeah, sweet, I'll be there. Let's play. Let's go. And that's what happened with the cup game, isn't it? Pretty much. Right, you've got a cup game. We trained once, and we, look at the performance we put in. I know we weren't there first half, but to come back from a 2-0 deficit and come back and win the game. Obviously, we've found out what's going on with that now, which is crazy. But so mentally, no, you put some games in front of us. We're ready if we want to play football.
That's good. Hopefully, we all hope that. I think we can get it going again. You mentioned there, obviously not here last season. That was null and voided. So how do you think? How has it been for you settling into this club? What's it been like for you? And what do you think? as a squad, where we're at, and the talent in the squad.
Yeah. Well, I work with Balls and coach with Balls at Wyke, and I was speaking to him last season. He was telling me about the quality he's got down here. Obviously, I know a couple of lads, and as for coming to the club, I always pictured myself coming to Ferriby. I'm a local lad, obviously from like Hessle, Boothry, and even when I was living down south and playing for Portsmouth, I would always keep an eye on you. I know it was a different club as such, but when you was pushing for conference and League Two and stuff, like I was thinking, come on, let's go. I was always looking out for you and playing against you when I was at Hull and stuff. I loved it. I loved the club. Played there constantly for the reserves. That was our home ground. So it's a club I've always thought I'd end up at. Not so early on in my career. I'm still quite young, I think. I know I'm one of the older ones in the squad. But yeah, I've always wanted to come here, and as soon as I stepped foot into the door, I felt at home. Obviously the likes of you guys, the gaffer, Robbo, the lads, everything's done right. The chairman, Sean, the kit man, it's class. Elvis is crazy, but
he is. He is the definition of crazy.
I've never known anything like it. He's in the fish and chip shop at like 2 o'clock. The boys are waiting for rubs. But he's.
I've never known anyone be so late to a match day before either.
He's funny. He's a funny character, and he's so dry. As for the quality of the lads, the gaffer said I'd be surprised, and you try and prepare yourself for that. But I was surprised. I was like, get in. This is the footballing lads. The being around. You look at like Butts. He's been around. He's played in different leagues. He knows the leagues through and through. Played so many games. Then you look at like Tillo, the skipper, loads of games again, and he's got that senior pro touch, and he's on your pup. Do you know what I mean? So we've got some great quality throughout the squad. I think we all know about Jay's left wand. It's I've heard about that for years now, and not really come across Jay, even though we've got like mutual friends. But what a kid and what a player. So yeah, we've got some really, really good players throughout the squad, and I think everyone in their own right is a standout player.
Yeah, I think we would agree with that. I think there's definitely, it's a special group, and like you said about the whole environment of the club, with stemming from Les downwards, I think it's a properly special place to be at. So it's really positive. Next thing, obviously we've talked about the positive season we've had. What areas do you think we can work on? Things we could have done a bit better.
Be more ruthless. We've had games where we should have hit double figures, and that's not over exaggerating. We've had 30 shots on goal and scored a couple of goals. So that's the biggest thing for me. Be more ruthless. 9 times out of 10, the boys have done the job at the back, and the times they haven't is when we probably let slip the other end of the pitch. So and it's cost us. So yeah, so that's the biggest one for me.
I mean, we've discussed that a lot, haven't we? I know you've had your say on the three goal curfew, Walker, but
that's my 3 goal.
Yeah, I mean, putting teams to the sword, I think, is something that we need to start doing. I mean, there's games where we've won 3-0 where we could have easily won 6, 7, 8-0. But like I've said to these two for a long time, mate, it doesn't matter how many goals you score, as long as you win, that's all that matters, and the clean sheet matters.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we just want to set them 3 points at the end of the day. But there's been times I've come off the pitch and we've won 2-0. I'm frustrated, and like we've all had some good wins this season, and it's been great. But them ones stick in your mind, the ones where you've come off and you've won a game and you're not happy. You've not reached what you thought you was going to reach and what you should have reached that game.
It's good. It's good to see that the squad have got that mentality. You know, you're disappointed even though you've won. It's better than being disappointed getting beat. What would you say is your best or favourite moment of the season so far?
Probably the sort of, I don't know if it was like last 5 minutes of penalty to win the FA Vase game, and obviously we had the crowd there as well, which was class.
Yeah.
You know, again, we'd come from behind, I believe, and it'd gone 2-2, and then to take that penalty, and win the game was brilliant.
Yeah, it was a good day, that wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you never said the bus on the way back from Wythenshawe, Easty.
Yeah, we'll speak about that.
not for the second beer stop either.
I'm not talking. I don't want to talk about your singing again, Jack. I've had enough of that now.
Please don't.
Hey, it won't bad.
Please don't.
I don't know.
At least I sung, Sam. At least I sung. At least I was part of the
I've
party.
made it perfectly clear for years I don't sing. Or not in front of a bus
Don't
load of lads anyway.
Well, just stick 50 in for the lads then, into the kitty.
There you go. You got
Oh, God, yeah. I'm not staff salt, remember. You are. So...
it's a good point, I suppose.
I've got to ask it, worst moment, I think I know what this might be, but worst moment of the season.
Yeah, obviously I lost my shit a little bit, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I mean, I have had a temper in the past, but never on the football pitch like that. And what the kid's done is unacceptable for me, and he wouldn't do that to me outside of football, off the football pitch. So don't try doing it on the pitch. Yeah, my actions was wrong, and I should have been a bit wiser. I'm probably one of the oldest in the squads and most experienced, so I should have reacted a little bit different, especially after I'd just been going on for 10 minutes to you and at half time. Don't get another yellow card, don't foul. And then I've gone and done that. But, I'm only human at the end of the day. Someone did hurt me. And it was, obviously some people still think it's the elbow that I got. I took 2 of them and then obviously went down playing the game. But to come over and stamp on me while I'm on the floor, then
it was...
Yeah. He's a lucky for him afterwards as well. Or that he didn't win the bar anyway.
Yeah, that was a weird game as well, because that was another one where even though we had the red card, that was one of them where we had so many chances to win that at the end, especially with the goal Emo scored that was disallowed.
I know, which was onside.
Yeah, which was about 2 feet onside. I'll never know, but they happen, don't they? And retaliation's a natural thing, and I can assure you, if I'd have been stamped on, I'd have done exactly the same thing that you did. So
yeah, but we've got a lot from it, haven't we? I'll learn from it. What happened again?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
What would you say has been the best and worst grounds to play at other than Ferraby's at this level?
At this level, other than Ferraby's, the one I didn't play in, their pitch was decent, and I know they turned us over.
Emily.
Yeah.
Emily, yeah.
Emily.
Say that to Ash.
I've got nothing against Emily anymore. I've got nothing against Emily anymore. I'm being nice to them.
He did. He didn't like them. But
yeah. So I thought that was good setup. And they're probably all Manders a little bit that game. We've absolutely battered them for 45 minutes. Same again, probably. I don't think he was offside for his goal, to be fair. And I think we battered him, but I think the old Manders a little bit that night, and like obviously I was banned, and there was a couple of us think that weren't featuring, but yeah, that was a tough one to take watching from the sidelines. But good ground, good pitch, and they done what they had to that night. West ground, there's a few, aren't they? What I've seen. I got one, to be fair. The gaffer said, look, Easty, like home games will be all right, but away games it's going to be like a bit of a shock. But I don't mind them. I honestly don't mind them. Like, I just think, roll your sleeves up, let's get in and amongst it. Let's find a different way. If we can't play on the floor, we're getting behind them. But yeah, I think I didn't play because I was banned, but is it Glasshoughton?
Yeah.
Did a bit of a game, and honestly, I think the grass up to my shins. In parts, it's like a bit of a cow field. But you know, we're really fortunate in the facilities we've got, and we've got to, you know, remember not to mock them sort of grounds as such, and they're doing the best they can.
Definitely.
We're really fortunate.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we have said that a few times. It is easy to fall into that trap, and like you said, that's why I think a lot of teams raise the game when they come to us as well, because everything about the club, it's a massive club, and at that level, and obviously the pitch is always immaculate and everything.
Imagine coming from Glasshoughton, playing on that as your own pitch, and then coming to us. You're like, oh yeah, but I'll have a bit of this. It's like Wembley, do you know what I mean? It's class, like the difference. It's a joke, so you'd be well up for it. Proper, yeah. It is a really, really good pitch, and be surprised if it's not the best in the league.
Just to finish off on this season, obviously, well, a couple of things on the Vars really. So obviously we've got to now replay this CM game. I don't want to drag you into too much, and you know, don't know what you can and can't say about it. But just in general, say that we do kickstart the season, or at least kickstart the Vars again. How far do you think we can go in it? Do you think we can go all the way to Wembley, like with where we've got? Because obviously we've had some amazing moments in it so far, and some great comebacks as well, backs against the wall stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the belief in the changing room is we can go all the way, and from day one, that's what we said. As for the game that we've got to replay, if the clubs message the FAs, and however many FAs they have message, and then have come back and said that is eligible to play, then I'm sorry, but we shouldn't be replaying the game. And my mentality as a player is, I know this sounds real crazy, but the National Cup at school was a massive thing back in the day when we all used to play in it. And Wolverhampton got thrown out of it, and we'd already been knocked out. But we'd played Wolverhampton, I think. So we got put back into the cup, and we was all like, it's not right. It's not right. And we was like thinking, why are we getting a second bite at the cherry? We've fair and square, we got knocked out. So for me, that's me. You know, some people are different. are thinking, don't deserve this. The lads that we played against tried coming here and being a proper northern team and bullying us, and it was horrible. And I liked it. I loved it. I loved seeing our lads step up to that and mark it and match them, you know, punch for punch. And yeah, they went up, but I was constantly telling lads, look, we've got these. I was looking around, there was all blowing. I was like, come on, we've got them. And then we got in half time. I lost my shit at half time. We had strong words in the dressing room, but we are that tight. We can do that. And we went out, and what we did was amazing. And for me, if that's happened to me and we've tried coming and bullying a team and then they've stuck it on us, I don't know. Obviously, they're not going to do that. They aren't ever going to say nah, but because it's a big prize in it. But yeah, it's just my head's blown with it, to be honest.
Good motivation though, if we ever get it back played.
Yeah, I don't think we'll though. That's my honest feeling. The last one ain't been played, has it? The last final's not been played.
No, the last final, yeah.
No.
So what's the chances of us playing that? It's very slim.
Yeah. Just one last thing I will ask about CM. Obviously, we got to the 8th penalty taker, and I think it's fair to say that your hammy was a bit worse for wear. Would you have been able to take one? I mean, we had Dougie and then you and TC left.
I was going up next, and I'll be totally honest, I was shitting it because it was in my head. I was thinking, you know, my hammy's like, to be fair, I found out it's not even my hammy, it's from my back. It's all related to my back. You know, my mates at Flex tell me that all the time, and I've sorted it out. But yeah, I was thinking, walking up to a penalty with half an hamstring, I was thinking, this one's got horribly wrong. I just had it in my head, which didn't like me at all. And I was thinking, come on. And then obviously what happened, and I was going to give Dougie a big kiss.
Oh God, we love that. Right, I'm gonna give it to Jack now.
Yes.
Go back in time a bit.
Your favourite member of the Three East, I'm sure we're all aware. So you're quite young, but you've had a long career and a long pro career. Obviously, starting off at City, loans at Northampton, Gillingham, down all the way to Pompey, coming back up to Grimsby, and then obviously a bit of a touting non-league as well. So describe, because obviously not many of the players that we've had obviously have played at a professional level. Some of them have been at academies and stuff, but the majority of them haven't made it. So how does it feel to be a professional footballer, like day to day?
Yeah, it's the best thing in the world. Something I'd wanted to do from being 8-9 years old, and I was lucky enough to do that for my home club. And people say you take it for granted, and when you go part time, you look back and you think, oh, just but I never did. I never ever took it for granted. I loved every day of it. Even more so because I got hit with a bad injury when I was 17 on the, I was captain of the youth team, and I got told never play football again. So I never ever took a day for granted, and just that environment. We're getting what we get now with the lads at Ferriby. You're getting that day in, day out, and if you've got a good group, it's the best feeling in the world. It really is.
Definitely, I can imagine. But obviously, with a job like that comes a lot of pressures. Obviously, when you're at these big clubs, like when you went to Northampton, when you was at Portsmouth, especially, there's a big pressure to perform. I mean, how easy is it to sort of deal with that week in, week out, having to put in a good performance for? I don't know what sort of crowds Pompey get. 8, 9, 10,000 watching them.
18,000.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Even that.
The fans were a joke down there. Absolute joke. It was class. But no, I think you've got to be mentally strong, but you wouldn't have got to being a pro without being mentally strong, especially with our youth team managers. And Billy and Manny was renowned for being mentally strong. So I think that side of it, getting motivated was never ever a problem for me in front of crowds. In fact, it was easier. The bigger the crowd, the easier it is to get motivated. You've got all them eyes on you. It's what you train for day in, day out. It's like being a boxer. You're sparring, you're training all the time to go and put performance on, and that's what you're doing as a footballer. You're training all week to go put that performance on, and it's hearing the noise and stuff. It just it sends shivers down your spine. It's class.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it's every little boy's dream, isn't it, to be a professional footballer, and especially when such a select few get to be able to do it. It must be such a privilege.
Yeah.
But obviously, like we said, you've had a broad number of clubs all across the country. So sort of travelling up and down the country every week, it must have been tough for you. I mean, especially, I know you probably live down in Portsmouth. I don't know you that well, but you probably live down there. You won't have done that every day, but it must be hard moving away from family and not being able to see them for such a long time. That must put a bit of mental strain on you.
Yeah, but when you're playing, it doesn't. You're not bothered. I mean, when I went on loan to Northampton, I was like in and out the season before of the squad for City. I think I'd been in the squad for 18 times, only played twice. So I was getting frustrated, and then Brucey coming in, I was only like on the bench, I think, or something, or in the squad the first, and I said that I need to get out. So I spoke to my agent and said, just get me out on loan. I just want to play games, want to get that CV built up. And he rang me and said, you go to Northampton. So I was like, oh, sweet, I'll pack my bags. He said, I'll send you the postcode, everything else. So I'm still living at home at this point, I think. So I packed my suitcase and all that, come downstairs, mum comes in for work. Where are you going? So I'm off Northampton. She went, where's that? I went, I don't know. So mapped it. It was like 3 hours away. As I go, it's 3 hours away. I'm staying in a hotel. Just didn't care. Just wanted to play football. And then she starts crying, and my dad comes home and he's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, oh, "I'm off to play." And then so I loved it, but it's obviously I don't think it's no secret. I had some bad injuries, and that's where it was tough, like really tough mentally. But I do think I'm mentally really strong, and that it's made me even stronger them times. But yeah, not playing and being injured, and some dark moments. When you get told you're going to play again, it's tough, especially being away from family and friends and stuff. But then on the flip side, everything happens for a reason, doesn't it?
Of course it does, mate. Of course it does. So yeah, obviously you've played under several managers. Which one would you say you sort of learned from the most? Who taught you the best?
My youth team managers was really, really good. Taught me the game, tactically, like there was really, really good. I will say tactically, Steve Bruce was ace. Didn't really touch training at all, but then on a Thursday he'd take team shape, and then he'd take the set pieces and stuff on a Friday. But but it's the way he done. Like everyone knows, he likes 3 at the back and wing backs. When El Mohammadi and even like I think Rosie played there a little bit as well. It's just his tactical awareness was class, and I learned a lot from him. Something I always knew I was going to go into as well as coaching, so I always watched him. Richie Barker was another one, really good. Adi Boothroyd was class. I mean, obviously his CV speaks for itself. He's England under 21s now, I think, but managed in the Prem and everything. But then obviously working with boards, all the time at Wyke. He's same again. He's that way inclined. Really good coach. Like I'll be putting on a session sometimes, and he'll just come and he'll just say, "Oh, you thought about this, you thought," and he hadn't. And just learning off him is brilliant. And then obviously to play for him as well, it's class.
Yeah, there's one manager who you haven't mentioned, which we all have a good affiliation with, and that's the King, Mr. Billy Heath.
Yeah.
So obviously coming down.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Same again. I've learnt loads off Bill. Adi Boothroyd, very similar to Billy's tactics. I didn't know that as I'm driving down. When I'm coming through at City, it was like talk football. We loved it, even the reses and everything. We all know that's a bit false. But as I'm driving down, my agent rings me. Oh, by the way, it's a little bit direct. I was thinking, what? We had Bayo Akinfenwa up front and Clive Platt. Now, obviously, you'll have all heard of the beast, Akinfenwa. But Clive Platt was like a skinny, tall version, and the both was class in the air, both class at holding it up. So I was playing fullback, which, to be fair, I never really enjoyed fullback through my career. But it was so easy. I just clip it into him every time and just go bosh and stick. Now, like Billy's like a same sort of tactician as that. But he's got a game plan every game. Getting to their final third and play the percentages. So you learn off them all.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it's a really good CV you've got. So, in the pro game, then, what's the best ground you've played at as a pro?
Wembley.
Barring Wembley. That's the pinnacle.
That
I did. All right, barring Wembley.
All right. It's a tough one, that. Obviously, ground-wise, now like Portsmouth, the atmosphere there is class. But then, obviously, to make my debut at the KC was just as good. Like it was ace.
Yeah.
Obviously, dreamt of that a long time.
Yeah. Best player you ever played with?
Oh, sorry, Jack. I'm just going to say. I'm guessing there was a lot bigger crowd at the KCOM that day than they were getting before COVID. And
there was, but that was a cup game, so I don't know how many was actually there that night. But yeah, it was all right back then.
Yeah. Best player you've ever played with?
Nick Barmby or Tom Kearney. Tom Kearney is.
Well in the Prem.
Pardon?
Doing well in the Prem is Tom.
Yeah, and like a few years back, I think it was on for a big club, going to a big club, and I think that'd even suit him better, to be honest. Yeah. Absolute joke of a player.
And obviously, just finally from me, so the toughest player you've ever had to come across?
Tough as in like physically tough.
Yeah, tough, or as in just like skillfully tough, like you just couldn't get anywhere near him or anything.
It's a tough one, really. Physically, Andy Carroll kept pulling on me. Big John Parkin kept pulling on me. Me and him both got sent off that game. So that was a fun one. But movement wise, Stuart Downing was an absolute joke. I think I done well against him, but like he ended up swapping and Dirk Kuyt come on the wing, and it was like I was thinking this is piece of piss compared to what he's just been doing. Like he was, you get taught opposite movements, or he was doing 4 or 5 movements before he was even asking for the ball. It was class. It was really good. I thought it was brilliant, and he's still playing now. I believe at a high level. So just shows.
Is he a Blackburn?
Yeah, he's at Blackburn. I think both feet as well. Really good player.
Fantastic, right? That's me for now.
I'll just add just one final one. Just sort of like biggest, like best days of best win as a professional, biggest like achievement
Yeah, I think getting promoted at Wembley and obviously playing in the cup at Wembley as well, that was really good. I think, you know, to top that it is hard to top, but yeah, I've had some good moments in football.
Fantastic.
Right, I'll let you go, Ash. Sorry.
Right then, Easter, we're going to go right back just to begin with. So, what's your earliest memory of you playing football, and where did you start, and how did you get into the game?
My earliest memory was, I think I got like a football that was strapped to your waist, and you could practice your kick, you know, your tackle on it. And for my birthday, I think me and my brother had like opened it early while mum and dad was still in bed, and he said, "Oh, give it a go," and he put it on and he booted it and smashed the chandelier. And then, like, that was it. Like, could hear my dad's footsteps, and dad's a psycho, man. So it was like, oh no, I was getting interrogated all day on my birthday. So they'd send one of us out into the back garden and bring the other one in constantly. Bearing in mind, this is in January, freezing cold. I'm thinking, it's my birthday, I can't even play on my toy now. I was only about 6 or 7, I think. But I started playing at 8 years old, like properly for a team. Went down to Ezel Sporting, and they was doing like a big trial day. So me and like my best mate Towsy went down and we trialled out. So yeah, that's where I started.
Excellent. How old were you when you moved to City then? What age did you get picked up by City?
I was 12, so from like Sporting, as soon as it went to like 11 aside, really, that's where I really like found myself. I grew as a lad and as a player. And I went to Nige Richardson's, who was obviously down at Villages all the time. He had an academy at the time that brought me on leaps and bounds. Really good coach, by the way. Probably should have given him a little mention there. He was a really good coach, and he assessed me on my UEFA B license as well. So that brought me on loads. And City had been sniffing around a while, and then I went there at 12 years old, and never really looked back from there.
Excellent. Would you say City were the club that you supported when you were younger, or did you support someone else?
I supported Man United and Hull City, but when obviously I did that, we was in the 2nd division, so I was going to Hull week in, week out, obviously as a player and ball boying for them and everything else. But I supported United because, you know, growing up as a lad, they was the best team.
How familiar does that sound to you boys? And I'm very pleased to have another.
Yeah, but the difference is, Sam, the difference is he's stuck with 2 teams. We've had about 8 with you. Come on.
No, we haven't.
Be realistic. Come on.
The amount of shit I get for being a Man United fan. It's always good when there's the like.
Why? It's not been good the past few years, so I don't get it. I don't get why people still think, you know, we're not proper fans. But to be honest, I'm not a football fan as such. If I'm at a game, I love it, and I love playing and learning the game. But as for watching it, I have to force myself, to be honest, to try and watch football. And I'm just getting into it recently because obviously I am getting that little bit older, and I do want to sort of keep tracks of things.
Especially nowadays with bloody VAR.
Oh man, yeah. Me and the lads was texting last night at our car school and was like, "What is going on here? What a robbery that was!"
It wasn't good that last night. It wasn't good at all. No. Who was your hero, Easty, when you was growing up, football-wise? Who did you look up to?
Yeah, Nicky Barmby. Obviously, you had like Becks and all that, and you know that was sort of the era I grew up with. So Beckham, and my mate at the time's house, he was left-footed, so he'd be gigs. He had Beckham in the garden all the time, and Steven Gerrard. I know this is going to kill you, Sam, but I love Steve. Proper loved him. And I always played centre mid, and I just loved the way he played. And obviously for England, he was class as well. So yeah, that was my main ones. But Nick Barmby, just because he was a Hull lad and he'd gone and done everything, got the t-shirt, and then obviously I had the pleasure to meet him. He was like the first pro I met at about 14 years old. I met him, and you know, they say you should never meet your heroes, but I met him, and I thought he was a great guy, and I still do to this day.
He's an absolute legend round here, isn't he? But Nicky Barmby.
Oh, he's class. He's a legend. He plays golf at the same golf course as me as well, and he's a legend down there. He's just a great guy all round. He'll be missing it. He'll be pulling his hair out right now because that's all he does, play golf.
So we're just going to move on to your life outside of football. So, what would you say you do on a daily basis when you're not, looking at football? How would you relax at home, that sort of thing?
Well, it's changed recently. So over the past a couple of years, I just build a family. My daughter's crazy. She's 2.5 now. Little Maggie, she's a proper character. So, first and foremost, it'll be family. But I like to, obviously I've gone part time and everything, and over the years, and I like to wind down with a couple of drinks as well. Now on a Sunday, that like tonight, it's nice to have a beer and relax, and maybe a little bottle of red as well. But you've got to be careful, especially when you're not training all the time. But golf as well, golf and fishing, I love them both.
Well, that was going to be my next question about what are your other sports that you've got an interest in. But would you say it's golf and fishing are the main two?
So growing up, it wasn't. I had to choose at 15, rugby or football, because I really did like rugby, and that was a tough decision at the time. I was 15. I don't even think Hull City knew I was playing rugby on the side, but I was, and I got a couple of clubs interested, and then once I was interested, it sort of turned my head a bit, to be honest. But obviously the rugby game, it's not like football, and I think I chose the right route. But rugby would have been my go-to sport after or before football. At one point, it was rugby, and then I love boxing as well.
Was you playing union or league?
League.
Black and white, red and white.
There's one correct answer here.
Yeah, it was black and white.
Yes, well done.
Correct answer. Correct answer.
It was red and white. That was up for signing me, I think. So.
Thank God you didn't.
Thank God you chose football.
That was my decision that swayed me towards football.
I don't blame you there at all. Not at all. Just one last question from me about your business side as well. So, are you into a few businesses at the minute as well?
Yeah, so I think obviously growing up, coming from the background I come from, and mum and dad was never like short of money when they was together, but there was always constantly splitting up and things, and we lived on the estate and everything else, and my dad had a really good job for 32 years at British Aerospace, and obviously it's not my business to disclose, but because of how many times I broke up and got back together and stuff, seeing that, I always thought, well, whatever money I get, I'm going to invest, and I'm going to try and do right with it by for my family and everything else. So property was always one. I think I bought my first house when I was like 19, 20, just to invest, and then from there, like I've always kept my wits about me with stuff like that. I've got a healthy takeaway feast in Hessel, so started that good coming up to 2 years ago, a personal training business, and then I've just started a home multi-gym with one of my pals who had a really good idea, and then we've took it from strength to strength, which is called Rep Rack. So that is like one that I really want to push out there. It's got great potential in the current climate. Everyone, like you say, Sam, Jack, and I don't know about you, Ash, but you're looking good, Nick. Anyway, you're all trying to do a bit, and it is brilliant for your mental health as well. Obviously, physical and mental health is massive at the minute, and for kids our age especially, it's the biggest killer. And my little brother's gone through a real hard time, and if we can bring something out that people can have at the homes to keep themselves mentally sane, then I want it out there as fast as possible. But yeah, that's a really good one. And then obviously my wife's got the salon and stuff, which is brilliant.
Fantastic.
Excellent. Fantastic stuff.
That's really good, that, Easty. I mean, I'll what you're saying about, especially the times we're in now and lockdown, it is a massive struggle for a lot of people, and just having that something, that motivation and something to clear your head, it's really good.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I could get them out there for free, if I was, rich enough to do that, I would do. But it's a business, and we've got to sort of make money. And it costs us a lot to make the products. We're trying, ways and means around that, and we're trying to. Klarna is obviously a big thing at the minute, trying to get partial pay. So looking into all avenues to try and make it as affordable for everyone as possible, because it is massive. There's no denying it. Mental health is out there, and it's big. When you've got the world heavyweight champion speaking about it constantly in Tyson Fury, then if he can be mentally unwell, anyone can. Absolutely. So, and obviously witnessing it firsthand with my little brother, who did try to take his own life, was the worst thing ever. So it's something I've always looked into and always tried helping people out with.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That.
Thank you.
Is it time to dig some players out?
Yeah, I think it might be, Jack. I know this is
Right,
your favourite bit, so
come
go
on. Right, dig them out, Easty. Come on. Right, so obviously this is the teammates quick fire questions you'll see on Soccer Air and the like. Best initiation. You're allowed to say mine. I'll send you a tenner after.
Stop digging. You did this with Dougie.
Nah, not yours. Sorry, Jack.
No, I agree.
I'll go the skip. I'll go Tillo's. Really good, confident. Yeah, blew it away. To be fair, good lad.
Whose was the worst?
Mine. Yeah, I just totally winged it. I just thought I'd get the song going in the change room that we all put on, and I even got the words wrong. So yeah, mine. Yeah.
Who's the madhouse?
As in, just crazy person.
Yeah.
Oh, Tillo, he lives in York and he's always got dates with his missus and like scrapping off to be with us lot having a beer.
Who's the moodiest? Who likes a moan?
Oh, it's got to be Lewis, hasn't it? Lewis loves a moan.
He does. We often
the piss saying he needs to smile more.
Oh, he's a great guy though. It's probably the diet he's been on for however long. Like he's absolutely shredded now, but I hear he was a little bit tubby before
that. I'm not saying anything. I'm not going to offend him. Deadest trim.
Deadest.
Yeah, worst.
See, I told you that was a stupid word, so.
Yeah, we've had this one.
No, it's all right. It's all right. It's a tough one. There's a couple out there, to be fair. I'm gonna go Butch, you know. It's like his fashion, to be fair.
Butch is gonna hate us, isn't he? He's just getting slagged off.
He's not bothered. That's the thing. He's not actually bothered. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, he's just like. But he's a policeman now, isn't he? So he's got to have that.
Yes. Worst trim? No, best trim. Sorry.
Oh, best trim. Joel's looks casual all the time, doesn't
it? Best dress sense.
He'll be up there again, Joel, I suppose. Yeah, he's good. He's dapper.
Who needs to go clothes shopping?
A couple. Yeah. Your man Butts would be up there again.
We've had 2 players. That's 2 votes for Butts on that one. Who loves a red card?
Well, I've only had 2 in my career, but obviously off the back of it, you're going to have to go on me, aren't
you? Best techers?
Jay's got a left foot. It's a wand. It's good.
Yeah. Best trainer?
Joel Shortland trains really, really good. Emerton, he always has. Emma's always, trained really, really, really well. So them 2 will be up there for me.
Worst trainer?
Ewan.
Who's the gaffer's best friend?
Well, Butts had his top off on the coach journey on the way home talking, but nah. No one really like that, I suppose. There's no one that really, just goes and speaks to the gaffer for no reason. Because if they would, all the lads have his life anyway. So, and obviously, that's a bit of a tough one for me because I've known him outside of football first and foremost. So we've sort of mates on that. But even you've got to keep your wits about you in football, haven't you? And know that's not a good one.
Well, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but Dougie said you when we asked him that question.
I didn't see that, but yeah, fair play. Yeah.
Finally, after a game, who spends the longest in front of the mirror?
The mirror in the change room.
Oh, well, that's not a very good question then. Who's always the last out of the changing room?
Probably me. Not because I'm like getting you've seen obviously my big curls and that like come out with them like wet. I don't care. It's just I can't get in the shower straight away after a game. I need to chill. I'm like quite chilled like that. I just need to chill and wait and then get in the shower in my own time, and then and the change room's always boiling afterwards. And what's the point of getting in the shower and then coming out and sweating?
Exactly. Good point. Right, that's those players dug up. I'm sure they'll be happy with you.
Yeah, well, it's all right. All good.
Well, thanks a lot for coming on, Easty. I know you're obviously really busy at the moment. Got a lot going on. But yeah, it's you've been great at the club since you came in. Obviously, we're all really proud, us three and James, to sponsor you this season. And you've been great with us and everything ever since you came in. And I think a lot of fans would echo that. And as for tonight, thanks for coming on and being our latest player interview. Really enjoyed it. And hopefully you get more views than Dougie. Let's see.
Well, are we going to dig up who's been asking to come on, by the way? Because I've got to have their lives.
I'll tell you after. We don't want to ruin it.
We don't want to ruin it for people who watch this. But we'll tell you in private who it was.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Okay. I hope it's someone that's been giving Dougie it.
I won't be, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
No, either.
I think I can guess. All right. Perfect. Right, fellas. Thank you very much.
Lovely stuff, mate.
Cheers, Easty.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Bye. Cheers. Thank you.
Well.
And then we will just finish off by saying thanks to everyone again for watching. We hope you enjoyed that one. We really did. We couldn't wait to get Easty on. And we shall let him know who's been begging to come on the podcast next week. But it should be another good one. We've got another player lined up, so that should be really good.
His reaction was wow and laughing.
I bet it was a player who was coming on next week. Wasn't getting involved.
Yeah, I bet it was. But no, it's great for us. Obviously, we will blow our own trumpet a bit here and just say, I can't believe that it's at this point now. I know we're in lockdown and there's not a lot for people to do, but the players wanting to come on, and I think it's really good for the fans, getting this bit of insight and going back in their career, and especially with someone like Easty there who, the clubs he's been at and things. It's I'm really enjoying it anyway.
Definitely. The fact that we've got to 20 episodes with only a few people complaining at us is
we've got 20 episodes without me being arrested. I think that's the highlight.
I think without you being arrested is the highlight. I'm surprised you haven't been beaten up.
I think we've only got banned from 2 grounds in 20 episodes, so I think we're doing all right.
Emily aren't going to ban me because I'm going to make a gesture to that fantastic football club before I go back there.
Oh dear.
Have you wrote yet?
Which speech?
Yes, your supporters club secretary.
Oh, yeah. The boss said to me, the gaffer Mark said to me, 150 words. Guess how many words there is?
149.
149, yeah.
150, bang on the fucking dot. That is skill. That is skill. Although it may be completely different. Would I be surprised if Mark has changed any of it? No.
He will have done. He will have done. I know what he's like. Just to say as well, the auction, we're still taking items for the auction that the supporters club are doing. So yeah, if you've got anything,
James sent me a very exciting item that's come on the market. I told Sam about it earlier. I can't say what it is on here.
There are some very good items. So yeah, if you've got anything that you want to give to the supporters club for auction, all the money goes to the supporters club, which eventually goes to the club. So it's all for a good cause. And I've heard some of the items that is up there, and there's potential for them to go really, really far. So yeah, it's fantastic. So yeah.
No, great stuff. We've really, really good work on that. And yeah, hopefully, I think that is going to raise a good amount of money for the club, which will be good. But yeah, so 20 episodes, lads. August-ish last year. Who would have thought it?
That beer garden seems so far away, doesn't it?
Well, did I say to you on Twitter the other day, Sam? A beer garden. What is one of those?
I know, but one day, lads.
We may see one again by August, hopefully.
Well, if we do, imagine the idea we'll come up with for next season for the podcast.
Well, the fancy dress ideas are getting quite steamy that we've been coming up with. Quite hot.
That you've been coming up with. Can we just...
We can't share what some of them are for legal reasons.
We definitely can't share what one of them is.
We can't share that one. We can't share that one.
No, we can't.
That one, no. That one's a no-no, and there's reasons why we don't want to upset people. Obviously, we're not going to dress up as I said we was going to dress up as, because that would be unfair to a lot of people, as it was a joke. We've got some great ideas. We've got one idea that I think we're going to go with, which would be class. It's free and perfect.
It certainly will. Anyway, so that is it for episode 20. Thanks to Danny East. Thanks to everyone for watching. And we will see you next week when we have another player ready to be interviewed for you. So, cheers, lads, and I'll see you next week.
Cheers, Shepard.
Cheers. See you later.